A storm is brewing. Not just in the Atlantic, but on high school football fields across the state.
Do your job. I don't need a superstar right now.
Week 1 had its share of surprises.
Been the doormat for a long time, and it's about time. It feels good. We 1-0. I tell you that right now.
And the Columbia Tigers claiming top dog status in our area.
They came out, took the constructive coaching a week ago, and they came out and played lights out tonight.
What team makes a name for itself tonight?
Impose your will.
The Friday Night Blitz
Move on.
starts now.
This is Action Sports Jack's Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Subway Restaurants.
A rivalry game in Nassau County for our game of the week. Yulee crossing the Intracoastal Waterway to meet up with the Pirates at Fernandina Beach. Coming up tonight on the Blitz. Welcome to week 2 of the Friday Night Blitz. Hi, everybody. Hicken here. Looked a little dicey earlier in the week whether we'd be able to get these games in with Hurricane Dorian on the way to the Sunshine State. And despite a few cancellations and schedule changes, the schedule here on the First Coast largely still a go tonight. The big stories of the day: Columbia looks strong beating Trinity a week ago. Can they keep it up against a very good Oakleaf tonight? Brent Martineau catches up with a former Conqueror, getting ready for a big college game day atmosphere on Saturday. We never forget the bands on the Blitz. We'll bring you our band of the week that you voted on at actionnewsjacks.com. And rivalries galore, including a big game at Baldwin High School tonight. But we begin with our game of the week. A rivalry matchup in Nassau County, Fernandina Beach and Yulee. Hornets already up 14-0, and the Pirates looking to answer. Big fourth down play in the red zone, and it's a big stop. Kalik Alberti knocks the ball loose. Fernandina Beach turning it over on downs. Ensuing possession, and this is where the Hornets really gain momentum in the game. They drive down the field. Jergati Wilcox takes the handoff around the left side into the end zone. That's a touchdown to Yulee. The other half of that backfield, and the feature guy is Kamari Barksdale. He adds a third-quarter touchdown of his own, stretches the lead to 27. Pirates finally able to get something going with their quarterback, Cam Miller, his first game at the position, and he finds a crease and goes in for the touchdown. Fernandina Beach gets on the board. But tonight is all about Yulee. Kyle Lee through the air to Clayton Waldy. Oh, that's pretty. A big win for the Hornets over Fernandina Beach. Stuart Weber was on the call tonight and has the game-winning interview with Yulee coach and former NFL first-round pick Terrence Flagler.
It's a big rivalry victory for the Yulee Hornets as they beat their Nassau County rivals Fernandina Beach 41-10. Here with Coach Terrence Flagler. And Coach, it was really kind of that rushing attack that really propelled your team to the victory. Kamari Barksdale back there just doing a lot of work. His offensive line opening up holes left and right for him.
Right. Well, we had emphasis this week going into the game, improving the run. Last week we left too many plays on the field. Penalties put us behind the sticks, and we couldn't get it going. But we were pleased with the output tonight. Still a lot of work to do, but we were pleased with it.
Had to feel pretty good to be able to get your other running back involved as well. Wilcox getting into the end zone and showing some bursts, showing some moves, and really a little talent out there that gives you some options here moving forward when you're talking about who you're going to throw out there.
Right. It gives us some versatility with those guys, and it's tough to play just one. You know, so we have it's good to have two. We can spare them and keep a fresh guy in there and put pressure on the defense.
On defense, you're talking not too many big plays given up. Obviously, the 155-yarder to Chase Boyd, but for the most part, guys like Kalik Alberti and that defense were really holding strong and limiting what Fernandina Beach was able to do tonight.
Right. Well, we knew we had to keep an eye on Chase as well as Cam. We wanted to keep those guys corralled and try not to get them in open field because they're dangerous out there. So we pleased that our guys did a pretty good job.
All right, one more in the Nassau County double.
Right.
You go from Fernandina Beach. Next week it's at your place, and West Nassau is coming to town. I'm sure all the players on your team really kind of got ready for these two games.
Right. Well, we had them circled, knew we had to take them one at a time, and because it's county rival, a lot of the guys know each other both places, so it should be fun. We're looking forward to it.
I'm sure the players are as well. That is Terrence Flagler, the head coach of the Yulee Hornets, after a 41-10 victory over the Fernandina Beach Pirates. Let's go back to you.
All right, thanks, Stuart. Alert the folks down in St. Johns County. We're coming. Creekside and Bartram Trail. That's coming up next week live on ESPN 690. Last week, our game of the week was Columbia beating Trinity Christian Tigers with another stern test tonight. How about Columbia at Oakleaf? There's highly touted offensive tackle Jalen Rivers sitting this one out with an injured foot. Future teammate at the University of Miami, Chance Williams, doing his best to fill the void. That's an interception for that big fella. Next year, he'd get the turnover chain, but this year he can carry the turnover soared. Knights would capitalize off the Tigers' miscue. Adrian Gray finds the end zone from 8 yards out. Oakleaf takes a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Here come the boys from Lake City. The pressure from Levante Camille leads to the interception by Noah Ruiz. Now it's the Tigers' turn to score points after a turnover. Kylan Callum goes down the right sideline and finds pay dirt. 28-yard touchdown run. We are tied at 7. Watch this freshman running back from Oakleaf, Devin Outlaw. He's running all over people. Oh, you Devin Outlaw. The Knights sideline is pumped up. He drove right over the white shirts, just driving and running with those big thighs. My God, a freshman. The drive continued in the second quarter. When Outlaw scores on the direct snap, Oakleaf goes up 13-7. At that point, PAT would get blocked. That would play a big factor as Columbia comes back to win by a final score of 21-19. Head coach Lynn Shell and the Reball Trojans ready to rock and roll against Mandarin up there on the north side. Early in the second quarter, Carson Beck back to pass, and he is picked. And can you meet Keonta Jenkins in the end zone? Trojans up 6-3. Back on offense. Mustangs get it going. Martranius Mack truck breaks loose. Breaks tackles left and right on his way to the end zone, just short of the goal line. Good start to the drive, however. Next play, Mack finishing the drive in the end zone. Mustangs would take the lead. Mandarin wins this one 32-13. Jumbo! Battle of the Bees with Bradford making the trip to Baldwin. Jumbo! Down 8-0 in the second quarter. Bradford quarterback Jack Smith stays calm in the pocket. Delivers a touch pass to Nathaniel Davis for the touchdown. 2-point conversion, no good. Still down 2 points. Smith does it himself. Pulls down the pass. Jumbo! And scrambles into the red zone and takes a shot right there. But the Indians defense comes up with a tackle for loss on 4th down to take over on downs. Zach Norris adds on the 41-yard field goal to stretch the lead to 11-6, and they hold on to win by a final of 14-6. Jumbo! Let's take a live look at TIAA Bank Field. This is where Florida State and Boise State were supposed to be playing tomorrow night. Instead, Jacksonville area players like DJ Matthews, Andrew Baselli, and the Broncos' Riley Smith will take the field in Tallahassee tomorrow for a noontime kick. A bit of a disappointment for the local guys, but a move made with safety in mind for the weekend. Let's bring in Action Sports Jack's Brett Martineau with more former Friday Night Blitzers on the big stage of college football tomorrow.
I'll be keeping an eye on some other former Friday Night Blitz stars that have made it to college on Saturday. I'll be in Columbus, Ohio for the Ohio State game. And there are 3 former Trinity Christian Conquerors playing for the Buckeyes.
Intercepted by the Buckeyes. Sean Wade.
Right now, Sean Wade joins us. Boy, you got some Jacksonville guys up there. Marcus Crowley, Tyreek Johnson. Is it everything you thought it would be?
It's everything and more. It's just a lot of things here that make me want to come here with Coach Meyer and Coach Khan. Both of them moved on to better things, but they got replaced by some great coaches.
Now, you told me you're rooming with Tyreek Johnson. What's that like? You bringing him along? I mean, you guys having some fun?
Oh, we definitely having some fun. That's a brother for life, for real.
How fired up are you guys about the opener? Something about that football finally being kicked off after all this work you guys have put in the offseason.
We've been working since January, so we just got to show it on the field.
They'll play FAU on Saturday. We'll report Saturday night on Action Sports Jax prime time. For now, I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jax.
As Brent mentioned, we'll have more from Columbus on Saturday night's edition of Action Sports Jax Prime Time. Still to come, more from our season-long look into the program of the Reigns Vikings, plus more games, including a trip to Atlantic Coast. The Dash pays a visit to see the Stingrays.
Hey, Friday Night Blitz! Glad you made the trip!
It's a long trip. Shout out, Marcel. Glad to see the folks out in Baldwin. Still in good spirits. 90-minute weather delay. Indians take care of business tonight. Protect their house against the Bradford Tornadoes.
We are the Yulee Hornets, and this is the Friday Night Blitz. Don't sleep.
Don't sleep.
You're watching Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Subway Restaurants.
Miller, and he just gets stiff-armed down, and Wilcox around the outside and into the end zone. What a run
for Jorgani Wilcox as he scores a touchdown with 6 minutes to go.
Our Friday Night Blitz game of the week, Yulee and Fernandina Beach. Stuart Weber on the call for Action Sports Jacks over there on 690 and standing up in Nassau County for more on tonight's game.
The Yulee Hornets picking up a win over their Nassau County rivals Fernandina Beach, 41-10 here on Friday night in week 2 of the Friday Night Blitz. Here's the thing about the Yulee Hornets, and this is something we might have seen in the past from this school. It's a running game. Of course, the school that produced Heisman Trophy winner and now Tennessee Titan Derrick Henry, not to mention a guy in Jamari Peacock onto the college level as well, now has another two-headed backfield in Jorgani Wilcox and their main guy, Kamari Barksdale, who did a lot of work here on Friday night at Fernandina Beach. The offensive line doing a great job of freeing up those two young men and letting them run towards the end zone. One reason why this team might be emphasizing the run and might be so good at the run, well, look at their head coach, Terrence Flagler. This is the guy who originally held the Nassau County rushing record until that Derrick Henry guy came around. In a single game, he once ran for over 400 yards and 7 touchdowns in a single game. That was the record, of course, until Henry came along and played for the Yulee Hornets. So next up for Yulee, oh, it's another good one. They go home where they will play the West Nassau Warriors. West Nassau coming off a game against Lee this evening. That's going to be a great one out in Yulee 1 week from tonight. As for the home team, Fernandina Beach Pirates, they get to play at home again next week. The Interlochen Rams will be coming to town. Fernandina Beach is going to need to find a way to dust themselves off and get back on the winning track. They're now 0-2, and they're without a starting quarterback after that first game as Cam Miller came in, but you could see he wasn't very comfortable in that quarterback position. That will grow with time, as will this Fernandina Beach offense with Cam Miller and Chase Boyd in the backfield. All right, that is it for your Friday Night Blitz game of the week here at Fernandina Beach High School as the Yulee Hornets get a 41-10 victory. Dan, let's go back to you.
Talking about fans of the week are from Middleburg. Those are some of the current Broncos, but a handful of Broncos from the past were in attendance at tonight's game. These are some former Middleburg players from the 80s, and some of these guys played on the first few football teams in school history. Always good to see. Hey, the Dash always happy to see fellow Mets fans at the games. Mets won tonight, by the way. Dash also saw one of his former players from his coaching days, young JT Leahy, a tight end, now on the JV Stingrays. And you know who else the Dash loves? Dash always loves the band. So much fun. Such a great atmosphere. Listen. Yeah, it's time to dash to Atlantic Coast.
Dan's Dash, brought to you by the Southern Chevy Dealers. Find new roads.
Oh, man, what a game at the land of Stingray. Atlantic Coast, Ridge Jacobs. This was a back and forth. Bishop Kenny, Atlantic Coast. He's going to hit Malcolm Seaborn. Malcolm turns and waves goodbye. Look at him go down the sideline. Malcolm, don't turn around there. That's not going to get you a flag, but that's okay. Touchdown. Atlantic Coast grabs the lead. Cheerleaders love it. Everybody's happy, but BK came to play tonight. George Farman down the sideline to Andrew Tabor. 31-yard touchdown. Look at him just fight his way into the end zone. Kenny goes back on top, 24-20. Don't kick it to, what is it? JT, get out of the picture. Don't kick it to Seaborn. He shakes, he bakes, he moves, he grooves, he spins, he breaks tackles. He's still going. He's still going. He cuts back. He's still going. He's still going. Finally brought down around the 20. AC would score and go back on top. So in the fourth quarter, Kenny doesn't quit. Farman from his 9 lets it fly. Tabor. Oh, Tabor. Look at it. Oh, he breaking tackle. 91 yards. 91 yards. Touchdown, Kenny. They go up 31-27. One last gasp for AC. Jacobs from about the 35. Rolls. Lets it rip. And, oh, just tipped incomplete. Bishop Kenny wins its first game for their new coach. He's back at Kenny. Tim Krause, 31-27.
It's amazing. Yeah, just so proud of our kids. You know, we missed, I think, 4 starters in this game, too. Another one that was limited, too. And we're not an overly deep team either, so our kids that had to play both ways just fought like crazy and just made just enough plays at the end.
Just enough plays at the end. Kenny's first win, as I said, for their new coach, Coach Krause, and a fun game to watch tonight. All right, Episcopal on the road in a defensive battle with Lake Highland Prep. There's Coach Brunel. Let's go to the third quarter. Check in on Kirk Reed. Let's see what he's got. Takes the ball from Tomberlin, and he's spinning and oh, he flips just at the goal line. Ouch. All right, then what are we going to do? Well, Coach Brunel knows what he's doing. Let's give it back. Yeah. Let's give it back to Reed. What do you think, Coach? Want to give it to Kirk? Yeah, let's give it to Kirk, okay? Yeah, let's go ahead and give it to Kirk. And, all right, here we go. And it's down, set, hike. These plays are cut a little lengthy. Here's a pitch. Kirk, oh, nice move. Takes it in the end zone. Touchdown, touchdown. 6-0. Now, we got the two-point conversion. So instead of running Kirk, let's do something different. What do you say? Why don't we let the kid Tomberlin chuck it here? Tucker Tomberlin. All right, let's see. There we go. A little step. Fire. Bang. Nice. Clark with the catch. 8-0 Episcopal. Fourth quarter. Carter Kim. Are you okay? Is going to throw a touchdown pass right here to make it 8-6. 8-6. We got a ball game, so we got to go for two, right? We got to go for two. It's a fourth quarter. It's late. We're going to go for two. And if we go for two and we get it, we're tied. Here it is. Here's the play. It's going to determine everything. And a little flip pass. Incomplete. Episcopal wins 8-6. Your final. The student section is rocking tonight in the Berg. Yeah, oh yeah. Orange Park leading, though, 16-8 in the third quarter when the defending state champion in the 100-meter dash, Alex Collier, gets behind the defense. Well, guess what? You ain't going to catch him, right? Or do you? Well, they had an angle. All the way down inside the Bronco 10-yard line. A few plays later, Vinnie Walker connects with Sean Dixon for a Raider touchdown. Orange Park goes up 23-8. But don't you count out the Berg. Trevor Sheeran goes right up the middle for the touchdown. We got a one-score game again. Broncos trail 23-15, but Orange Park holds on for the 29-21 win over Middleburg. Back to wrap. Jumbo! Jumbo! Hey, as we continue our look into the Making of the Reigns program, we take a deeper look inside the heart of the team. Our own Marcel Robinson took a stroll down Reigns Avenue with the man in charge, Duran Wiley, to talk about the neighborhood surrounding the graveyard.
All right, so Wiley, we're here in the neighborhood. This is the neighborhood school, William M. Reigns High School, man. This is kind of partly your hood, man. You're a product of this situation, man. How does it feel to be able to come here and call your place of employment home?
Well, you know, I think any coach that gets an opportunity to come coach at his alma mater is big. And of course, when you get great results like we have gotten over the couple of years, it's outstanding. I never, in my wildest dreams, would imagine me being in a situation like this.
It's a really cool story because you, much like a lot of other former Reigns Vikings, have come out here and been turned out as great men. Like not just great football careers, but great men. And for you, I always love your passion with these kids because it shows that is just as important, if not more important, than the football accomplishments here at the graveyard.
Well, I think if you look at all the men who have walked through the school as coaches, Coach Stevens, Coach Day, Coach Doug White, I mean, and the list goes on and on. You talk about some outstanding people. And so I just try to, again, keep that tradition, that pride with the guys that come through Reigns.
And it's always so great because you can obviously tell that's so important because when they get on the field, that same level of uniformity applies right here on the field. You get these kids in here from this neighborhood.
That's right.
They stay in this neighborhood. And you don't really hear about them being in trouble.
They have to be informed. They have to be taught that it's a standard.
Hey, stick with us through the season as we'll release a new episode in our 7-part series right here on the Friday Night Blitz. You can find the full videos on all of our social platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and your favorite streaming devices. Hey, it was a renewed rivalry. Sandalwood traveling to take on Fletcher at the beach following the Fletcher field goal. Saints on offense. Jeff Sims loses pressure, steps up in the pocket, hits Jalen Embry on the crossing route to fall into Senators territory. Same drive, Saints running back Jeremiah Huntley showing off the fancy footwork on his way to, pay dirt. Tiptoes in for 6. Fletcher unable to find anything on offense early. Meanwhile, Sims showing off his scrambling ability a little bit. Watch this, breaking some tackles. His way to oh yeah, that's a nice gainer right there. All right, still in the first half, and we're going to get a little tricky. Sims hands the end around to Jalen Embry, and he winds up throwing it downfield to Javonte Kinsey for the touchdown. Saints stretched the lead early. They wouldn't let it slip. They win 34-10. Out in the Panhandle, it was a battle for Trinity Christian last night. Remember, no easy weeks on the schedule. Whew, it's going to be tough. Third play of the game. There goes Kewan Herndon. He gets outside, and he gone. 72-yard touchdown. Conquerors did this last week, but they never scored again. That would not be the case last night. Plenty of points on the scoreboard, including Trayvon Webb on the kickoff return. Trinity retakes the lead with this one in the second quarter. That's pretty. Now, later, it's Herndon again taking the end around in for 6, but 48 minutes would not be enough to decide the winner. We go to overtime, and we get a big play from Clemson commit Fred Davis, who knocks the Godby pass away on 4th down. Conquerors turn, and Clayton Rohrig hits from 38. Good. Trinity gets the win. They're now 1-1. Palatka traveled west to face North Marion last night. Colts coached by former Palatka coach Willie Offord. Home team already up by a score when Ed Williams adds another for North Marion. Remember, this is the team that knocked out Trinity Christian in the playoffs 1 year ago. Point being, Coach Offord has a good thing going up at North Marion. They pick up the win, and how? 53-7. Hey, more to come on the Blitz, including the play of the day. And we want to remind you that there is more of the Blitz at 11:20 on CBS 47 as we blitz through the highlights of the night. Also, you can catch this show on Facebook as well.
We are the Fernandina Beach Pirates. And this is the Friday Night Blitz. Dang, I did it late again.
You're watching Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Subway Restaurants.
My first high school football game when I transitioned from one high school to another, and it's just being around some new guys and some new faces and overcoming adversity then, and no, it was a good time. I miss it.
Oh, we spent the whole night, welcome back everybody, combing through the best highlights from across the area, and each week we select just one as our play of the week.
The play of the week is brought to you by Farah and Farah.
I picked this one back to Atlantic Coast versus Bishop Kenny. Jacobs gives the ball to Ronnie West. Cuts back. Now watch the quarterback, 15. Whap! Oh! Then watch the effort from West. He gets hit right there. He's at the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the what is it? He's in! Touchdown! Touchdown! Our play of the day. Kenny got the win. Great game to certainly watch last night. Hey, time for the Subway toss. We love it. We go out there. Those are actual Subway sandwiches. Just kidding. Shirts. We throw them up there at our game of the week or wherever we go. Lots of goodies, free stuff we like to give away to you if you would like to get it. And this reminder that we do the Subway Friday Night Blitz. We do it 2 times every Friday night, 10:30 on Fox 30. Longer show with lots of highlights for you. And then again at 11:20 on CBS 47. And we do a quicker blitz through all the highlights for you with that one. All right, Jaguars have some cuts. All the cuts come tomorrow. Did cut a few guys today. No big surprises. Look, after watching the backup guys, can you really argue with anyone that they cut? Not really. So the Jaguars make a few moves and release a few guys, and we'll have more on that tomorrow on Action Sports Jax Primetime on Saturday night. But I've got even a better idea now because this is the high school stuff. So why don't we leave you with the band of the week for the Golden Regiment from Oakleaf High School. Oh, the Knights in a good battle with Columbia. Enjoy. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll be back on CBS 47.
Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Subway Restaurants.